Hi everybody, Mark Cleghorn here. Welcome to the Academy Live at 5. And guess what? It's swimming pool time. And we're basically doing some boudoir in the pool, as it were. So this will give you a kind of an idea on some kind of creative element, I hope. Please don't make the pond burst or whatever it is when you're on a first floor studio like we are, because there's a huge amount of work to make sure that all the electrics are off the floor, etc. and just kind of make it nice and safe. We've got Kelsey with us. She's our lockdown model. So basically we're photographing with all the kind of compliances that we need to do and so on with our protocols. We're going to be photographing just with one light, okay? So that's just an ELC. It's going to be a combination in the first shot of just the raw flash, kind of like a sunlight quality. Then for the second part of the shoot, we're going to change over and add some silks into the pond to try and change the colour. We've never done that before. And then we'll kind of add some petals on and everything else. So we're going to have a two-part shoot as such, really. So I'm not sure what else you want me to say, except remember to join us on the Photographer Academy. If you're not a member, then we've got some great offers running. I think there's a £59 membership running from now and through the whole of 2021. And you can join for just £59 for the whole year, get full access to all the films that we create. There's over 3,000 online already, plus there's 3 new images each week, or new films each week. Plus you can join us for our webinars, our monthly magazine, and so on. So again, remember to check out the Photographer Academy for more information. So let's get going. 100 ISO, f5.6, 200 ISO, f5.6. Basically the raw flash is going to scatter the light no matter what. Going to be using a combination of overhead with my steps and basically then actually kind of shooting from one direction to another. Supergirl Kelsey, come on in, love. If you go in from behind for me anyway. This is Kelsey's first time in the water with us. So basically we're going to have a bit of fun, I hope. Try not and splash. You're not in a bath and there's no toys, okay? So jump in for me if you can, nice and careful. Feet down to that end. Is it nice and warm? Yeah. Oh, good. Don't go to sleep then. So laying down, the hair's going to get wet immediately, so don't worry about that, but don't go fully submerged yet. The knees are going to go towards that direction, please. Curl up as much as you can, get the feet down there. Thanks for taking your time. It's boiling, is it? Everybody always complains it's cold and now it's a bit too hot. Anyway, let's get in. Let's get some shots first. Let's see a first test shot. Just lay back a little bit, but don't submerge the ears. Okay, that one knee needs to go up a little bit higher anyway. Let me just focus in on the face, body. Just keep there. Can you move down that way a little bit? My television's been put behind me today, so I'm just having a little look. Oh, I like it. That's it. Really close down there. I'm going to be cropping through the leg no matter what. Hand up towards here, I think, as well. Move over into the middle of the pool just a touch. That's great. Let's do it. Keep it. Again. Chin up a little bit more, please, Kels. That's great. Up towards the camera again. I must buy one of these flippy back cameras at some stage. Yeah, pretty cool. I like that. Let me, just before Honor comes in and she's going to be putting some petals in, let me shoot from the direction. Remember, if you've got any questions for us, get them into the chat panel. Can you just drift over towards here just a little bit for me? That's great. And again, keep it. Again. Eyes closed. Just push out the hair to the sides just a little bit more, can you? Good, okay, and again, keep it straight there. This raw flash, Honor, do you want to come from the back and we'll just pop to some of the petals in. This raw flash really does give us some kind of really great sunlight, kind of almost ripples and everything else with it and things really. It's just the cheapest chips pool that we just got online and kind of thing. You can see how much it's used. We've even had to patch it, the little black patch. And just go from there. And we'll just kind of just put in the flowers around it. I better get ready because these things are going to sink fast. Could you place them from this end as soon as, so put them up here first. Chuck them in at her. That's great. And if you place them in from that end, get them around by the butt and everything else with it. Raise the chin up a little bit more. Great. Use this hand down, Kelsey, just towards that leg more. That's cool, just there. Turn the head round to me more. It's gorgeous there. Lay the head back a little bit. Keep it. Again, it's gorgeous. Closer in. Do it again, 1 second. Shoot a little bit more space. Just going to shoot with a little bit of the pond in. I try and actually have as much or little post-production. This hand on the leg, just let it go flat. That's lovely, it's there. Raise the chin up a touch, Kels, it's lovely. A couple more, just closer in. Look away. More. Cool. Honor, should we just try some of the coloured flowers in? Just before we change, yeah. More up this end. I'm not photographing down by the butt much at all. Just make sure it doesn't look like it's growing out of her. Is it warm still?
Yeah, lovely.
The answer was yes, it's lovely. Or as we say in Wales, it's lovely. That's what we say, isn't it, not? It's lush. Put the head that end. Yeah, that's it. I like that. Cool. Okay, Kels, go back. Hands up again, I think, just a touch more. Again, keep it. We're using the Elinchrom ELC kind of Pro head, so we can shoot quite fast. Turn the head away from me and the eyes closed. Chin up more. It's lovely. Let me just get closer. I do prefer kind of being able to see the image, but of course I can't because I'm overhead and I don't have the flippy back. Let's just whack up the, keep it, once more, keep it, it's lovely, again. Let's just whack up the ISO, 400, 800, let's go to 11, just to give some hand again for me. Keep it, head back to me a touch more. Turn the head this way a touch. Excellent, I like that. I love the light. It's just, it really is a kind of a sunlit kind of thing. Couple more, sorry. And then we'll just get you changed. How's that looking? Love it. One more. Keep it. Look away, please, Kels. Eyes closed, darling. Excellent. Okay. Let's get you out, Kelsey, please, if we can. And we'll get you off to get changed. Let me just reset my ISO back to 200, back to my 5.6. Now I usually shoot prime lenses. Let's have a look at the images on screen for a minute, yeah? I usually shoot a prime lens to kind of, it's sharper by design, but there are times that these medium telephoto zoom lenses are absolutely brilliant. Just while we're kind of looking at some images, the girls are, Kelsey's just getting out the pond and Honor's just kind of fishing all the flowers out, and we're going to kind of put the pink in. I really do like the effect. Light and sunlight is kind of beautiful when it's allowed to just fly all over the place. In other words, you know, when you don't control the light and just allow it to just go in a straight direction. I think we'll kind of focus in this light pretty soon, in fact, so we can basically just focus in more. I think, Honor, we need to make sure that when we're photographing towards the end, can you see her hair here? Yeah. I think it needs to come out more. It needs to actually be controlled. I know we're limited what we can do. Some really nice images there. So let's pick up the meter for a minute and just talk about metering. I know there's a kind of a reason to meter and a reason not to meter. As a portrait wedding photographer, and more importantly a commercial photographer of years ago, in transparency film, we needed to make sure that exposure was absolutely accurate. There was no kind of looking on the back of the camera, shooting straight to a laptop, being able to actually see images. We had to actually make sure, in the commercial world, we've been photographing what is called a clip roll, and then we'd basically be putting that through exposure through the lab first, and then we'd be analysing those first kind of test shots. Every different setup we did, we would take an image on the clip back, and then we'd have those clip backs or those clip rolls processed first. Everything would be monitored, and that's where we could actually say, okay, we need to increase the processing time of rolls 1 to 4. We need to pull the exposures on rolls 6 to 8, etc., etc. So a lot of kind of control and structure into the shoot. So as far as the lighting in here is concerned, even though we're just using the one light, Metering is an essential part to make sure that what we kind of get out of camera basically is exactly what we expect. So we mentioned about, let me just shoot that again for you. So where we're seeing here, I'm not sure how good that is on camera, Brad, but that's showing 4.08. He's going to come in and focus it. So 4.08, yeah. Now, stay there. If I just do another exposure in a slightly different position, there's going to be another tenth of a stop there. Can you see that? That is just because the light is so far away, it's flying all over the place, plus I haven't got a defined place where I'm taking the exposure from. But it's important to make sure that I'm working as the likes of the 5.6. Right, let's bring Kelsey back in again. Let's cut away to the screen, shall we? Just while Kelsey gets back in. Oh, in fact, let's do the pink, yeah. Let's not cut away to the screen. Me and Honor are just going to quickly put the pink in. So as I said, we haven't done this before. Probably you'll tell. Honor, I'm going to let you get wet. Is that all right? Just. So I'll move that out for you. I think I need you to push that down as much as you can. So this is just a normal silk. We wanted to add a little bit more kind of a variety into the shoot, just to kind of give a bit of a difference. As it was, I preferred if it had been one big sheet. I wonder if we get Kelsey in. Now it's pretty much averaged in, isn't it? This, I think, needs to come down in more, so bring this on more. So it moves in, that's it. Brilliant. Kels, do you want to come through in the back there, darling? We'll just cut away from the pool for a minute. Do a quick shot when she's in before we start to do it. So we just changed over to the red. If you joined us last week, we were photographing with the clock and compass live. Okay, we can go live. We were photographing with the clock and compass as far as where we were positioning all the lights to a position and so on. We've kept in the red theme. We didn't have enough red silk, so we've gone a pink. Are you okay there? We're pretty much going to do the same shot. If you move your butt down to us more.
It's not, I don't think it's long enough when pressed down, so we keep your head in,
yeah? Yeah, you could probably actually pull that up to you, in fact, because I think there's a lap over. Pull it to you, Kels. Honor, sorry. If you start to slowly go down for us, please, Kelsey. Bring your hands up on top of the silks. Same thing applies. Turn the body away to the side, to that side, other side. Yeah. And just laying backwards. Can you bring your butt down more towards me again? Just bring the hands up on top to actually push that. Can you push that silk down for her now? Is it going down or is it just floating?
yeah. Unless it's weighted.
Yeah. Didn't think about that, did we? We thought we were absolutely sure it was going to actually think. I think so, yeah. Even if we bury it, I don't think it's going to do the job, though, to be honest. If you lean your head back just a touch more. You know what? It's pretty good on. Let's lose that black out. Or put it underneath it. No, I think it'll be fine. Let's do a quick test shot, and then we'll get the petals ready, yeah? And then we'll start to change the lighting round. Quick test shot first. So we haven't changed anything yet. Let's just check I did reset the ISO and the aperture. Yeah, we're pretty much there. I don't think it's really showing, in fact. It's not working so far as well it is. Let's get the petals straight in, I think, because otherwise, as is, it's nothing. Try and immerse your shoulders down a little bit more. Bring this knee up as high as you can. That's right. Let's get the one hand really up. That's slowly. The other hand, just push out a little bit more and raise up that chin a touch. Two middle fingers, you know, and the other hand as well. Okay, let's go. Let's just chuck them in. I found another photograph for you for Valentine's Day for Jason now. Yeah. Yeah, now it works on her. Yeah, chuck them on, I think. Need to buy some more petals. Can you put some around by this arm? They might even stick to the arm, stick to the body, put them around by the boobs. Even around by the hair a little bit. Just on this arm as well if you can. Let it stick almost on this arm, it should do. That's it. Let's have a quick look, shall we? And just move closer. Good news is for Kelsey, I haven't fallen on a model in years. And Kelsey's worked with us for 5 years now, but never say never, Kels. Well, I'm in a real tangle here a minute. Mark Cleghorn, behave yourself. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Keep it. Turn the head that way a little bit more. Excellent. And again, eyes at me. Keep it. So really want to kind of check every kind of almost 6 or 7 images to make sure we've got it. I'm going to go to the higher ISO again. Another 2 stops up to 11. Whenever I change the kind of the camera settings, obviously I want to do that first test shot. Like that a lot. Let's do it. Keep it. And again. Eyes closed. Keep it. Again. Let me shoot from the other end. I wonder if we head back to me again. Keep it. Eyes to me again, please, Kels. Keep it. It's lovely. This hand here, bring that down by the nickel line or into some of the petals. Almost as turn your hand up, as almost if you're fishing the pet. That's beautiful, just there. Let's do it. And again, keep it. Raise your chin back to me a touch more. Love it. Eyes closed. Keep it. Nice shot. I wonder if we just dull some of the light in here. If we do a little bit of a motion blur kind of thing again, I think that'd be really quite nice. I'll need you to move it around for me. Is that okay? Let me just, so I'm the only one who's allowed to touch electricity in studio when we've got water involved. Where possible, we want to use battery operated flash and so on. All the sandbags are kind of tied all down. I need to really turn this light away, just so I know it's going to go quite dark for you guys. I apologize. But can you kill this light from above for me? Brilliant. Let's, I want some light because it still needs to move. Let's drag this down to around about 1/8 of a second, shall we? Honor, could you just, or could you swoosh it for me, the water? Is that okay? Even just move your bum up a little bit and then down should swish it. So a quick look. Not really. Let's do it again. I don't think there's enough light on her now. Keep it. Focus. So I'll just move my camera instead. Get the blur. Let me just, I'm going to add a little bit more light in so it'll kind of acknowledge the blur more. So I'm just going to increase the modeling bulb. Touch more. And what we don't want to do is actually make sure it's a part of the exposure. I'm going to come back down in the ISO. So ISO back to 200, back to the 5.6. Let's do it again. So remember that shutter speed doesn't really affect the exposure until it equals. Can we see anything on there at all? We can't, can we? Push the bum up and down a minute just to really get a lot of water and a lot of petals moving, yeah? Even move your arms. And back. Keep still now for me. I'm going to move. So I'm moving just that little bit of the camera as well. It's not quite doing the effect that we need it to. Bit of a shame. Just might be a bit too bright. Let's make that lighting a little bit smaller. You okay there, Kelsey? Let me just push this down to add a reflector and honeycomb dish on too. What did I do with that? My reflector dish and honeycomb was gone. Remember, if you've got any questions with us, get them in now while we're live. If you haven't, if you're not a member of the Photographer Academy, there's some great offers running in. Thanks, bud. Thank you. You can join the Photographer Academy, as I said, for around it's 59 quid for the year. Gives you full access to our content. Kels, can you go back down for me again, please? Definitely going to meet it. Oh, I like that. Concentrated light more. perhaps we'll kind of create more shadow, a little bit lower, so it doesn't actually kind of get to the whole body. Obviously, we'd usually kind of test it to kind of get to the perfect setup before we immerse the model in. Okay, let me just meet, and back again, please, Kelsey, just so I can, and relax. That's 8. So let's go back up to 100 ISO, F8, go back to 125th so I know I've got sharp images. Let's do a quick shot. Definitely want to see this. Raising the chin and looking towards the light instead of me, Kels. Relax, darling. Let's have a little look. Oh, love it. Okay. Honor, could you get some more petals just up around by the head? Can you move down, Kelsey, just a little bit more for me, please? Really get your butt down there. I'm only really photographing the top part. And back down again. Okay, on. Again, it's lovely. That part over there, Honor, you know the part that's, can you put your hand on that silk for me? If you use your, sorry, Kelsey, your left hand, lay it backwards to push this silk down for me. Yeah. Okay. Can you see this part here? It's too high up. Can you just move down a little bit more for me? Move down more. Go on, Kels, try it now. Do it again, love. Next time, we definitely need to weight the material down. Okay, Kelsey, back in possession. That's lovely. Keep it. And back to me, Kels. Keep it. It's lovely. Just move the body just a little bit as we go. Keep the movement going. I like it. I'm not absolutely convinced. And again, please, Kelsey. Stay there. Let me shoot from the other end. I'm not absolutely convinced. It looks like it's in water, is it? Do you think it does, On? Yeah, we can see the ripples now and things, really. Yeah, I like the kind of leaning up, it's fine. Just look towards your left. That's gorgeous there, let's do it. Leaning back a touch more. Immerse the body fully. More. And lower the chin to me. Chin to me. Okay, can you just lower the shoulders down? Yeah. Bring one hand back. Last ones, let's do it. Keep it. Let's just do some, let me do that one again. It was almost there, we just got to blink. Can we do that again? It's okay. Nice. Last shots. Let's get some motion blur going. Let's go down to a second, is it? Okay, back, Kels. Ready? So I'm moving the camera quite a lot there. Like it. Let's do it again. Ready? So remember, the exposure onto the face is being exposed by the actual flash. Then obviously the ambient light source is basically the part that is moving. And again, please, Danny, keep it. Again, one more. Keep still, very still. Can you really ruffle the things? That's it. Last ones. Let's do it. One more. Eyes closed. One more. One more. Stay still, you. Head again, back down, back down. Last shot, last shot, last shot. Eyes. Excellent. Thank you very much, Kelsey. Like those. Great. Let's get her out, shall we? Get her warm. So we can see on those. Brilliant shot, darling. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Everybody can't see you, but love it. So you can see how we've got this lovely kind of shutter shake just kind of actually being used. I mean, it's a definite blur now kind of going on. You can see obviously at times where we're moving the camera too fast, there's too much exposure on the face, which gives a double face, which obviously we want to avoid. But yeah, we've got a real mix of images. I like the fogging, but I do like it in the kind of a more of a commercial kind of beauty kind of image with it. But yeah, really good. Thank you very much, team. Let's give you some more light, shall we? Brandon, any questions that are coming through?
Yeah, we have a couple of questions. Start off with an easy one. You ready?
Yeah, questions, go.
Jason has replied in the chat, give a bit of an overview, but first question was, what are you using to tether with? So what program are you using? How are you getting from the camera to the TV, and why would you use that?
Okay, so the question is about tethering and what our setup is in here and things really. I'm an absolutely advocate in commercial photography in getting the image to the art director as soon as you can. They're usually sat alongside you or distance, wherever it is. So for us to be able to kind of get the digital file straight to a laptop, straight to a monitor is absolutely essential. So we use tether tools, which is the orange cable, which is connected in. Let me just bring it across for you. This is the orange cable, and then basically this is going, there's an extension lead. You might be able to see on the floor. Let me pick it up. My back is not as good as it used to be. This is what we refer to as a shuttle. So this is technically a USB extension lead on the other end that goes to the laptop. As far as I'm concerned, they are the best on the planet. They never let you down. They also have a little product called the jerk stopper, which is this little thing on the end here, yeah? And that starts the erosion and the wear on the actual plug-in into your camera side here and things really. Obviously, when you're using the same kind of tethering time and time for 4, 5, 6 years and beyond, there's a natural wear no matter what. But just keeping these kind of refreshed. Let me just switch off the camera for a minute. I can unplug it. And then basically that jerk stopper allows me to tug on the actual cord by mistake. So you saw it kind of tied around my neck and everything else. This cable gets everywhere because of the extension cable, because I like to work further and further away from the actual monitor. So when I'm tugging onto this, as a rule, when it's plugged into the camera, this stops any extra wear and tear on the actual camera insert here as such. So from the tether tool, the images go in. I shoot a JPEG and a RAW file. That file is then going into just a normal working laptop, in fact, and we're using Capture One to see the image straight away. Capture One is just absolutely fantastic. It's the kind of preferred capture software for pretty much all kind of commercial pro photographers who are kind of wanting to show images on a screen straight away. Lightroom does it, but it tends to be very, very slow compared to the likes of Capture One. So I was sending a full res file and a full res JPEG, so that's a RAW and a JPEG file, straight across towards the PC itself with it and kind of just coming up live. The images that you're seeing on screen, we are not adjusting them in any way, okay? So you are seeing the RAW. I often talk about the truth of the image. I much prefer to show you the original image than I would to actually not show you anything until it's perfected. The reason in that, I fully kind of encourage you to be more like a film photographer. So you try and get it right in camera as much as you can. Obviously, it's a little bit quicker in demonstration when we've only got so much time to actually be doing these things. But I want to give you the kind of the inspiration to kind of get in there and actually do some shots and things really. So we've kind of just done a little paddling pool. Fingers crossed you could do it in a kind of a bath or in a client's home or even in your own home. Boutique hotels, these are natural places to be doing them. I've shot maternity, I've shot a lot of nude within the paddling pool or a pond, even in a bath, but I've never shot boudoir in the bath before. So today, that was a first for me as well. And as I said, we also sank the silks in, and we've never done that before. So it was kind of a wanted to do things live, because these are things that you test out at the end of a shoot. We've been shooting all day for the Academy. We're in the middle of a series on kind of boudoir for beginners. So we've got a whole range of kind of inspirational and educational films on the Photographer Academy to allow you to actually pick up these techniques. I think that answers the question anyway, yeah? So straight out of camera, going through Tether Tools. I'm sure you can find the information about which products that you need from tethertools.com, or you can link on the Photographer Academy and there's direct links off to them and things really. Fantastic company. We've known the owners, in fact, they're a family company like we are. We've known them for a very long time, based in the USA, and just by pure luck we happened to meet them once. And kind of we stayed in touch and stayed friends ever since and things. But Capture One is another big friend for us. Brandon, any more questions?
So there's another question. This one's talking about strobe and using strobe.
Yep.
The person who has asked the question essentially wants to know how to get the best results. So when they're using it, it's always too bright and it's drowning out the face of their model or client, whoever it is. How's the best way to use that? In relation to this as well, I guess, as well.
Okay, so the question was about strobe. Sorry, we haven't mic'd Brandon up today. The question is about strobe and how they get the best results and what happens when their results are kind of bleached out and too light or whatever it is. Well, obviously, it's too much power or not the right aperture with the power that you've got coming out of the flash. When we enter into the world of strobe photography or flash photography, a lot of the time it's kind of on a little bit of a speed light, and often the speed light we've put it into an automatic mode, usually a TTL mode or an ETTL mode, and that tends to actually take care of most of all the kind of the technical. When you start to actually explore the world of manual flash, now that might even be strobe flash, in other words, little kind of speed lights on top of your camera or separated off. But you might be working now on manual exposure like I was today. Then all of a sudden the TTL might not work in the same functionality as it was when it was working in perhaps aperture priority and so on. When you start to work with professional strobe or entry-level strobe, whatever you're doing, basically most of the time you're going to be in a manual mode. So in other words, at some stage you need to take a test shot or you need to take a test exposure. A test shot would obviously result in what does it look like on the back of your screen, of your camera. And then obviously from there you make the analysis whether to power the flash down or increase your aperture up. So obviously if we'd taken the photograph with the strobe, we didn't know what the powers were and what it did, and let's say our working aperture was f4. Some of you might actually go, okay, well, I'm going to turn this up to f5.6, f.8, 11, whatever it be, in the full stops to try and find where the working exposure is. What I would say, though, as a working photographer and as a creative photographer, I would inspire you to really decide on lens and aperture before anything else. When you decide on lens and aperture, you are controlling a part of the triangle of kind of creativity. Overexposure from the strobe will obviously kind of be controlled by the power of the strobe or from the aperture that you select. So you can either increase your aperture up by doing that from, as I said, f4, 5, 6, 8, 11. Eventually you will see tone on the image. That looks good on the back of the camera. Or you go to the flash and you start to reduce its power down, and basically you make an education visual from the back of the camera to actually kind of get the working correct exposure. However, you saw me during the session when I picked up my meter, and what this does, it basically, when I put it in place and I tell it to fire a light, like we did, it gives me an exposure, and that is what I set on the camera to begin with. So in other words, if I'm looking to create 5.6 as my working aperture, then of course I need to make sure that it says 5.6 on here. If I want f8, we would increase it. Now this meter talks to the Elinchrom lights, and I can tell it to turn one or more light up in power to increase it. When you're starting to work with strobe, the first bit of advice I'll give to you is always buy a pair, but start off by using one. All right, so always get into the technique of using one light before many lights, because often the contamination of a secondary light can confuse the whole scene and you really don't see the power. You saw today what we did by just kind of adjusting nothing other than the spread of the light from the actual kind of the diffusion where it didn't have any before. So in other words, the flash was raw, it wasn't being controlled, so it was a bit like sunlight on a sunny day, and it's speckles all over the place, and that was the kind of the quality that we looked at first. Then we wanted a little bit more of a focus spotlight, a little bit more of an evening light in a room, or from a torch, or a kind of some kind of a small point of light. And that's what we did by adding in a reflector dish here, and we added in the honeycomb. Tip of the day is, if a honeycomb has a piece of plastic on it, use the piece of plastic, because that's really hot. Okay, so don't touch that until it's kind of been off the light for a while. But realistically, when a light has its characteristics changed, either by an increase of power or by the change of a control, either a softbox, reflector dish, and so on, then basically you've usually got to actually check the exposure straight away. Hope that helps. Brandon, anything else? Excellent. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us live or watching this on catch up. At the Photographer Academy, we're there to actually train the next generations of photographers, whether you're a pro or a hobbyist. I wish we all had the same passion as a hobbyist photographer or a pro photographer that really loves what they do today. As far as what these films are based to do is just not watch it and look at it and go, oh, I wish I could do that. The whole point of the Photographer Academy is to inspire you to pick up your camera and go and do something similar. You don't have to have the whole equipment. You don't have to have a fancy hotel or big studios or lots of equipment. Just use what is at hand, and if you can learn to actually use the equipment that you have, eventually you'll have the ambition to actually add extra kit into your mix, to just like a chef learning how to actually use the basic knife before they go into anything else. I'm Mark Cleghorn for the Photographer Academy. Remember to head over to the photographeracademy.com. I'm sure there's a link down here somewhere to actually check out all of our films, as well as kind of some specials for our members. Great to see you. See you next time. Bye-bye.